Hey, what's up, everybody? My name's Seth Morrissey from LifeNaturally.com, and I just want to talk a little bit about a blog that I wrote a while back, the top 5 self-help gurus that changed my life. This blog has been read tens of thousands of times online, and I think it's really inspired a lot of people, and I just want to give you an update from where I am now and kind of my motivation for writing it. In college, I was really bored with the material I was being presented, so I started searching online for kind of some different views. I knew there was something else out there. And so I started searching for it and I started stumbling into the self help community. And, that has forever changed my life. And so I kind of wanted to introduce you to my top 5 favorite self help gurus that have really helped me grow as a person and make more money and everything else. So let's dive in. Number 1 on my list, Tony Robbins. I mean, come on, who hasn't heard of Tony Robbins? Everyone, I think, has. And a lot of people make fun of Tony Robbins and think he's too simplistic or the stuff he's saying, can't be possible. But the thing with Tony Robbins is he's a good entry level person to get you started thinking differently, to change your paradigm, to make you feel that you are special, that you are a great person, and like he says, to awaken the giant within. And that's what Tony Robbins will do to you if you give it the time, if you listen to his material. So I always advise people, if you're on a journey to improve your life, then start with Tony Robbins and really listen to what he has to say and apply it. And you don't have to agree with everything, but really resonates with you and that'll change your life for the better. The second person I put on my list is Bob Proctor. Now, a lot of people probably haven't even heard of Bob Proctor. While he's a giant in the self-help community online, he's kind of below the radar, and most people, find Bob Proctor, through YouTube or other places, but you don't really hear a lot about him on the TV or in mainstream sources. Bob Proctor's whole deal is he's a law of attraction guy. So he basically he preaches that whatever you think in your mind, you're going to attract in your life. And a lot of people just can't believe that, but I've found it to be true. So Bob Proctor, one of the quotes he says over and over, a lot of people, their goal is to make more money, and so his affirmation that he says that you should say daily is, I am so happy and grateful that money comes to me in increasing quantities from multiple sources on a continuous basis. And, people would be like, that's not going to do anything, but say that 10,000 times and see what happens. Because your mind will start to just accept the fact that money is going to come to you from multiple sources on a continuous basis. And Bob Proctor has other stuff. He always quotes Joseph Campbell when he says, "The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek." And whenever I apply that concept to my life, I get great results. A lot of times I think we get comfortable in our comfort zone and we don't want to branch out and do things that we could fail at. And by always reaching for more, always going into the cave that you fear to enter, you're really going to grow as a person. In the end, you're going to be happy you did. So moving down the list, my number 3 pick, Stephen Covey, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. If you haven't read his books or listened to his audio tapes, I highly, highly recommend it. He is a Christian and he kind of puts that slant on it, but his material, whether you're a Christian or not, his material is amazing. So, and one of his big things is as the quote I have here on the screen, most people do not listen with the intent to understand. They listen with the intent to reply. So he's all about, making that connection with people and really, he really has influenced my life in a positive way that I can't even really describe in words. So just listen to Stephen Covey. You'll like what he has to say. So he has this thing called the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And I'm just going to briefly read those habits to you. And then if you want to, you can come to my blog at lifenaturally.com and go through it. So habit number 1, be proactive. Begin with the end in mind. Put the first things first. Think win-win. So just briefly, when you think win-win, that's when any kind of relationship, any kind of business deal, any kind of interaction with anyone, it needs to be win-win. They need to come away satisfied and you need to come away satisfied. And if those 2 requirements are not met, then it's no deal. And, when I apply that in my life, I always get great results. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Synergize, and always sharpen the saw. And sharpen the saw means that some people get so caught up in the day-to-day work that they don't actually take the time to learn more about the subject that they're working in or study more, which would make them more effective, which would mean they'd have to work less. Number 4 on my list, I got John Maxwell. John Maxwell is pretty much the leader of business communication. And I've been to many of the Chick-fil-A leader casts and other things, and where John Maxwell has been the speaker. And he really is a master at communicating. So if you want to learn more about communication, and especially from a business context, then I highly recommend checking out John Maxwell. And then I had to include the great Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. I'm sure you've heard of that book. It's the Bible on how to grow as a person, how to be successful in life, how to have more friends, how to influence people. This guy has the answers. And he wrote this book debuting, it says, in 1937, this book did. So this guy was so ahead of his time. He really knew his stuff. And if you read this book, it will really change your life. And I highly recommend everyone do that. I had to include some honorable mentions because it's really hard to just refine my list to 5 people because there's so many great self-help gurus out there. So I just threw in here Napoleon Hill, Eckhart Tolle. The Power of Now is kind of mainstream, but the message there is really powerful because it's all about living in that moment. And a lot of people just think, oh, this isn't, they don't take it very serious. But if you actually grasp that concept, this is absolutely huge for your life. I got Robert Greene, Laws of Power, Shinzen Young. If you're into meditation, definitely check him out. And then Richard Bandler. He's the co-creator and founder of NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming. And if you want to be a more effective communicator, if you want to change the way your brain actually thinks so that it will attract the things you want in life, then check out Richard Bandler. So that's it. That's my top 5 self-help gurus that changed your life. I hope this blog helped a lot of people. And, I know it's helped me. I've been very successful in just about everything I've tried because of the fact that I have listened to people and taken their advice and applied it to my life. And now the biggest thing I'm going to say, I'm going to give you 2 closing points. One is take action. I put this at the beginning of my blog, but a lot of people just study, and they don't actually take action and go to the next step. And if you don't take action, there's no point in even reading this because taking action is what actually will bring you the success you want, will bring you the health you want, that'll bring you the money you want, that'll bring you the girls you want, whatever you're searching for. But after you learn and you have a game plan, you need to take action. Even if you fail at first, that is the journey. The journey is to take action. And finally, my last thing is persistence. Along the road, we're all going to have setbacks. We're all going to fail. But the people that succeed are the people that take that first hit and fail, but then keep going. And in those losses, in those failures, that's when you learn the most. So that's all, guys. I hope you check out my website, lifenaturally.com, and read my blog, Top 5 Self-Help Gurus That Changed My Life. These people have meant a lot to me, and hopefully they can help you out in your journey. And good luck to everyone, and take care.